My name is Dr. Robert McBride. I have the honor and the privilege of being principal of Neuqua Valley and welcoming you to the 6th annual Neuqua Honors. And wow, we are fully in community tonight. And that's an amazing thing to see. I want to welcome parents, students, community members. And I always want to begin any assembly that we have with just some thanks. In particular, I would like to welcome our school board members who are attending this evening and some who could not attend. I want to draw particular attention because I cannot think of any elected officials on the heels of an election yesterday who represent the values of this assembly more than our school board members who run for election, and in a completely voluntary role, they exercise service and democracy. Kathy Peel is here. Susan Deming and her husband Albert is here. Board President Mike Razak was down in Springfield lobbying on our behalf, and he just jetted in here. Lori Donahue, a board member, Justin Karubis, Mark Rising, and Natasha Grover. Could you give those board members a huge round of applause? They really deserve it. They really enact the values of this assembly. Some other distinguished guests who also enact the values of this assembly because they serve not just Neuqua Valley, but they serve our entire district, and what a mighty thing to do in the third largest district in the state of Illinois. Our superintendent, Dr. Karen Sullivan, I believe she is in the booth, and she is not working lights and sound, but she's giving up her seat for you. So Dr. Sullivan is right up there, our superintendent. I believe also somewhere in our assembly is Dr. Lewis Lee, who is the assistant superintendent, who works with the high schools in our district. Can we give Dr. Lee a big round of applause? I know he's here somewhere. And then finally, we are one of the few districts in the state of Illinois that has a district director of educational equity, and that is Dr. Yvette Dubiel, and she is here as well. So Dr. Dubiel, you are welcome, and we're inspired by you, and thank you very much. Without the leadership of our board members in our district office, equity events like this would not happen if we didn't take the cue from those leaders at the top who believe that these kind of awards and honors and thinking are important. Before we get into the ceremony, if I could just ask you, if you have an open seat next to you, would you please just take a moment to raise your hand and just wave, just in case there's a community member, a friend, member of the community that doesn't have a seat, and if so, we would move to that. Thank you. I want to thank Neuqua Valley Music under the direction of Mr. Kevin Kosabayashi for bringing us together to the Neuqua Honors. I want to give you a sense of what this evening is going to look like in terms of our agenda for these honors. I'm very proud and very pleased to welcome you to this 6th annual. Those students right in front of me who won the Service and Civics Award, you have a mighty job because you get to model for everybody else how we line up and how we award, and we picked you because we know you can do it. Then we're going to move into Student Growth, the Student Growth Award. What I would ask you as we acknowledge students as they cross the stage, if we could hold your applause until entire groups of students are welcome so that we can hear every name, because it is important to hear every single name of all the students who have received this honor. My good colleague here, 4-time Neuqua Honors winner, Miss Ria Jindal, is our student speaker for this evening. She'll take the podium. We'll do the Contributions to Neuqua Valley Award, the Leslie Bauman Spirit Award. I was selected, given my present situation of transitioning from the principal role to the superintendent role in a new district. The committee asked me to be the faculty speaker, and I accepted that, and will be your faculty speaker for this evening. Then we'll award the Equity Award, the Leadership Award, and one of the few people in this room that can say he has taken a long run around the Ringstrasse in Vienna with me, Mr. Brady Beck. We did that when we went to Nitra, Slovakia over the summer as part of an exchange that our school does. That's our agenda. There are some huge debts of gratitude that I also owe. We have a small committee that puts this together. I want to highlight Mr. John Gelsomino, who's on stage with me, Dipti Vaida, who's on stage with me, and Shar Hadley, who's on stage with me. They are our readers tonight. But there are 2 titans in our school who really put just their heart and soul into this event. It would not be possible. Well, many of us were sunning and funning over spring break. These two individuals were just working their hearts out to make this happen. One is our financial secretary, Maria Monahan. The other is my dear assistant, a very, very talented person whose fingerprints is all over, they are all over this ceremony, and that is Miss Tony Ray. Tony Ray and Maria Monahan are in the back. Could you step forward so we could just see you and put our hands together for you? You're amazing. Tony Ray, Maria Monahan, outstanding individuals and human beings. Also, we have an entire committee that is dedicated to being our Building Equity Committee. And this committee is charged, and I have the pleasure of leading them, to make sure that we are an inclusive, a fair, and equity-oriented school, asking that question. And these are the members of our faculty. We also have student members. Rhea and Brady are student members of this committee. But could you give the Neuqua Valley Equity Committee for their work a big round of applause? I really appreciate it. I apologize that I'm not going to give finer detail than this to how we arrived at these 300 students who are here. Let's suffice to say is the only award that we give in our awards program that is by faculty nomination with the expressed purpose to be inclusive, to be thorough, to be personal with who we acknowledge in terms of who is walking our stage. I will speak a little bit about why you are here in my remarks, so if you'd permit me to do that at that time. But also I think there's some historic relevance of April 3rd. You know, it's so fascinating to me. We had an election yesterday, historic in many places. We had board members running. And then tomorrow, you know, tomorrow's a special date to me. Tomorrow's the 51st anniversary of the assassination of Dr. Martin Luther King. And it's a perfect time and place today between an election and that anniversary to reflect on Dr. King's legacy in the lives of these students. The students that we're about to honor, they are legacy livers of Dr. King's legacy. They're here tonight because they live out daily. You raise them as their families to appreciate the call to dignity, to decency, to fairness, to equality, to diversity, and to respect for the values that Dr. King devoted his life and ultimately gave his life for. So I am very proud of your sons and daughters and very proud of what you've done as a community and even just coming tonight, and it's an amazing thing. We're going to start with the Service and Civics Award because it is all about the students. I want to give just a little idea of how we do this, students. What we're going to do in a few minutes is some of my colleagues are going to help you stand up. What will happen is you'll have a reader that will cue you, and you know what award you're winning, and they'll ask all of you to stand. You'll exit right over here. You'll follow Miss Altitas. She'll snake you up so you can line up, and you'll end up right here where Miss Dorsey will just kind of keep you for a minute, all right? One of the really important things is you have your reader card, and we want to make sure that each reader gets your card and reads your name, and we can hear it loud and strong and proud so that we can bear witness to you and to your greatness. Thank you. So without further ado, then one final thing. You will say, what kind of award ceremony is this? All I got was this award cover. Nothing in it. The reason why there's nothing in it is we're going to send you back. I'm going to excuse you first to go back to the table where you started, and on your table will be your award certificate, something that's important, but I'm going to tell you something more important. You know what's going to be underneath that award certificate? And this is really Miss Ray's work, your nomination. More important than your certificate is what an adult wrote about you that brought you here. And that is going to be something you're going to want to read and take a look. Go get that, come back, and then we a lot of times do pictures in here, okay? So without further ado, let's get to the Service and Civics Award. Mr. John Gelsomino, if we could do that, and we will move forward. Thanks so much.
All right, well, the students nominated for the Neuqua Valley Service and Civics Award, please line up. The Neuqua Valley Service and Civics Award honors a student who has demonstrated a consistent level of service to the school and community. The award recipient displays a high level of integrity, energy, and selflessness with a strong commitment to support programs that benefit the welfare of others. And if you could also please hold your applause till all of the nominees' names are read. Your award winners: Peyton Mitri, Brian Chu, Alexis Alleman, Casey Gillespie, Cijo Joseph, Christopher O'Toole, Ali Hussein, Alex Del Genio, Nikila Pupala, Zara Shah, Ellen Malone, Sarah Scar, Ricky Song, Anushri Majumdar, Nora Schneider, Katrina Subramanian, Elijah Vera, Bilal Malik, Remley Herzberg, Emma Richardson, Mina Al-Jamali, Andrew Fiel, Edna Burhan, Luke Selby, and Rihanna Panergalan. If you are a nominee for the Neuqua Valley Student Growth Award, you can please line up on this side. The Neuqua Valley Student Growth Award goes to a student who demonstrates perseverance and resilience in the face of adversity, be it personal or academic, and shows marked educational growth and discernible maturation. The nominees for the Neuqua Valley Student Growth Award: Austin Cleary, Phyllis Rusisi, Elijah Pierce, Aiden Ortman, Charles Bernard, Joshua Garland, Maria Lerma, Parvati Achari, Anve Pethkar, Michaela Gosma, Jade Burnham, Aaron Foy. Ela Tanasia. Emily Morgan. Mia Willis. Lindsay Geese. Francis Keene. Kristen Hopkins. Isabella Espinoza. Christopher May. Noah Shalio. Nicholas Rokas. Ryan Kohlmeyer. Anvi Nidavalu. Mason Waddell. Madison Sheriff. Madison Nielsen. Hannah G. Evan Smith. Aditya Kartha. Brian Schaefer. Taylor Crawley. Catherine Kennedy. Subhan Ahmad. Daniel Lickman. Cameron DeMambro. Jessica Skaczynski. Anusha Trivedi. Evelyn Calhoun. Hannah Strzelecki. Emma Wajda. Peyton Laverty. Kumari Washington. Kyron Tarbs. Michaela Seymour Gardner. Hiba Alni. Uditi Padururi. Timothy Zalabak. Sean Thompson. Jack Townsend. Jane Reese. Nicholas Buffon. Haya Faruqi. Gabriella Stone. Kaya Brewster. Nadia Akali. Tessa Pusiga. Natalie Nauman. Whitney Lebemoff. Gianna Belcastro. Ava Williamson. Amelia Wachtel. Tylen Levine. Garrett Wentworth. And Samantha Neruda.
Hey, thanks so much. What a great group of students. We always ask a student speaker, and this year we're fortunate that our speaker is a four-time Neuqua Honors Award winner. She's also a member of our Equity Committee. So could you give a big round of applause for our student speaker today, Miss Ria Jindal. Miss Jindal.
Hello and good evening, everyone. As Dr. McBride said, my name is Ria Jindal, and it's my pleasure to be speaking to all of you today. So first of all, congratulations to all of the students for being nominated for the Neuqua Honors. Today, a lot of people ask me, what is the Neuqua Honors Award? Well, this award is very unique, as it celebrates something that cannot be enumerated or materialized. The Neuqua Honors Award celebrates dedication, service, kindness, leadership, spirit. Today we celebrate you. Since freshman year, I have been someone who has constantly worked towards my goals. I thought that if I could check off all the boxes, I would get into a great college, a great medical school, get a great job, and my path to success would be a straight line. All my older friends always told me, Ria, it doesn't matter where you go, it just matters what you do, but I never really believed them. Now I am officially a second semester senior, and as I get ready to leave home and go off to college, I finally understand that they were right. The choices that I made every day at Neuqua Valley had shaped and cemented who I was. No matter what my future held, the person that I had become for 4 years at Neuqua Valley would not change. Naturally, we all feel successful when we are given certificates, pins, and medals because they validate our accomplishments. However, in the end, these are just pieces of plastic that someone else has given to us. However, your choices, your experiences, and the type of person you are, that is something you will carry with you forever. As you walk across the stage, no one knows what your grade point average is, how many friends you have, or what sports team you play for. We do know that you are making Neuqua Valley a better place to be. One of my favorite childhood movies is Kung Fu Panda, and Po begins as just an ordinary panda, and eventually he becomes this kung fu fighting dragon warrior. For those of you who are familiar with the movie, at the end, Po's village is threatened by this evil tiger named Tai Lung. So his master gives him this dragon warrior scroll, which is said to hold the secret to limitless power. However, when Po opens the scroll, he finds that it is blank. He's devastated, and he goes to his father, who's the owner of a noodle shop, and he asks his father to tell him what the secret ingredient is in their famous noodle soup. And his father then reveals there is no secret ingredient. Po then understands what the scroll is trying to say. He does not need a secret to defeat Tai Lung, he just needs to believe in himself. So today is not about the certificate, because in life, there are no scrolls or secret ingredients. As Po says, it's just you. Thank you.
Well done. Hey, next up, I'll ask my good colleague, Shar Hadley. She is a teacher of our ELL students. She is going to lead us through the contributions to Neuqua Valley.
Thank you. Would the nominees for the Neuqua Valley Contributions Award please stand? And once again, we ask that you would hold your applause until everyone is finished. The Neuqua Valley Contributions Award goes to a student who has been involved giving time and talents unselfishly to our school, Neuqua Valley High School. This can be in any area of the school, from academics to athletics to music. The nominees of the Neuqua Valley Contributions Award. Caitlin Bache. Megan Kosak. Claire Winiarski. Samantha Carlson. Taylor Beverly. Jade Anderson. Frederick Tien. Luke Ernst. Christine Phillip. Kyle Domingos. Oliver Nee. Shreya Haldapurkur. Ishwar Pichaya. Arvneet Gutara. Matthew McDonald. Summer Moore. Mylan Ross. Elena Steen. Sasha Reese. Orion Alrod. Abigail MacArthur South. Caitlin Zhao. Jessica Shovani. Allison Patty. Matthew Arens. Michael Gooder. Jack Hiss. Aiden Murphy. Nicole Tomte. Ella Lavachi. Samuel Jordan. William Lehman. Sitara Gadapala. Jordan McCarthy. Amelia Fleming. Aaron Koronek. Aaron Lochtefeld. Would the nominees for the Leslie Bauman Spirit Award please stand? This award honors the memory of English teacher Leslie Bauman and the NVHS students whose participation in a variety of events lifts the school spirit by encouraging others to be enthusiastically engaged. Contagious energy, good sportsmanship, and wildcat allegiance are key characteristics of this recipient. The Leslie Bauman Spirit Award winners. Logan Breen. Taylor Virachat. Leanne Leanoff. Leah Sanese. Caitlin Kurnek. Lauren Marsh. Kennedy Carlson. Tessa Kucharski. Tony Taylor. Sabrina Valente. Autumn Harris. Tegan Malachek. Carolyn Cottrell. Meredith Christofek. Sniggy Nipani. Anastasia Dogaru. Tatiana Dogaru. Jenna Anderson. Hope Allen. Griffin Adea. Anthony Chatro. Carter Subitz. Victoria Segovia. Emily Byrne. Sean Golmis. Ninan Pardo. Hannah Singer. Nicole Lease. Megan Gaither. Devonna Brockman. Unisa Ushariu. Charlie Hagland. Ashwin Garg. Philip Montgomery. Ashley Stiss. Allison DeMay. Casey Klassen. Daria Garrison. Henry Scriven Young. Eileen Yuan. And Jessica Turnquist. And now our featured faculty speaker, Dr. McBride.
Thank you. Wow, I can feel the energy. Pretty amazing. Geez, I've never been a featured speaker where I'm introducing myself. Good Lord. Thank you so much. I really want to thank the committee for asking me to be the featured speaker. That makes me, and many of you know I like to talk. That is true. But I really appreciate just a moment to share a few things with you, just especially about the nature of this award. And I don't usually use PowerPoint slides, slides when I go through things. But in this particular, my remarks, I really do want to do that today. If you would allow me, last week I was on spring break. I left on spring break and I had these remarks prepared so that I could go off on a time to have some carefree family time with my family, and really focus on that. And then we had an event in my family that I want to share with you tonight, a story that made me throw those remarks out and say, this is what I'm going to talk about tonight. And that's going to come up in a few minutes. So the first thing I want to do is play a little bit of a historian. I want to tell the students here and all the community members and family members, what brought you here to the Neuqua Honors? What is this thing all about? Well, the story of the Neuqua Honors is 6 years old. I guess it's really 7 years old. In the 2014-2015 school year, our committee we were having a conversation about awards. And we had noticed that our society was becoming increasingly competitive. And at least at the time, the drivers of that competition were worthy things. I'm not saying they're not worthy things, but they were generally GPA, college entrance, standardized test scores. All important. You'll never get a high school principal say, not important. But what we began to see at our school was that the overvalue of those things was maybe undervaluing other things. Competition over cooperation. Winning over collaborating. Stress over helping hands. But we also noted that those awards created a very narrow aperture and really only allowed certain students to cross our stage, who deserved to cross our stage. But we knew full well at a very large school that there are many students who should cross this stage. And so in that year, 2014-15, we were able to have a discussion that led into 2015-16, where we really started, I'm backing up in my history here, actually. It was in the 2013-14 year that we really got into it. And that's significant, and I'll tell you why. So a small group of us came together, and at the time in 2014, one of the first people I hired at Neuqua Valley co-chaired the equity committee with me. It was a passionate thing for her. Her name was Leslie Bauman. She was the second teacher I hired as principal at Neuqua Valley. And I did that in 2008, and 3 weeks into her first year here at Neuqua Valley, she was diagnosed with colon cancer at 33 years old. And she was passionate about our committee. And in the 2013-14 school year, we decided to launch the Neuqua Honors. And in April of 2014, we would have our first ceremony. That was a horrible year for Leslie Bauman. Leslie Bauman was our Orchis sponsor. She was an English teacher at the freshman building. She exuded all of the values that are on display tonight, a spirit and a thought about the way that we should treat each other in a community and the way that we should live lives. So what brought you here? What brought you here was a vision of our committee, a vision of me, a vision of Leslie Bauman, that we should be inclusive in our awards, that we should be far-ranging and far-thinking in our awards, that we should put many different types of students on the stage. And in March of 2014, we had the last meeting before we would have this ceremony in April of 2014. And in room C118, a lot of the students know where that is. That's that classroom inside the main building LMC. After an equity committee meeting, Ms. Bauman and I, we sat at a corner table and we did two things. We planned this ceremony. We scripted exactly what's happening tonight. And we had enough knowledge that we planned Ms. Bauman's memorial. Because I knew, and she knew, that in about 3 weeks, she would not be with us, at least here, anymore. So in the last week of April 2014, on a Sunday, I stood on this stage and we walked out the exact memorial, because Leslie Bauman had passed away. And we had a full auditorium just like this where we memorialized her in dance and song and testimonial. And then the Wednesday of that week, we had the Neuqua Honors. It was a very emotional and a very moving week. That's why you're here, because of a vision that we can bring more students to the table who deserve recognition. And you're here in part because of a principal who believes that, and you're here in part because of a mighty woman who is no longer with us here, who believed in that spirit, and a committee of faculty members who believed in that inclusive spirit. I want to talk a little bit more specifically about, that's what brought you here, but kind of why are you here? Did you know with the Neuqua Honors, and if Tony Ray was here, she would testify to this, did you know that every time I send out my letter, I send out my notification of who the award winners are, we get phone calls? Sometimes from parents, sometimes from the students themselves, and the phone call goes like this. Well, hello, I'm calling Dr. McBride. I got a crazy robocall from him or an email. I got this letter in the mail. There must be a mistake. Oh, you're laughing. You are laughing. No joke. I don't know if Miss Ray is here, but we get calls. You must have made, and we'll say, oh, no, it's not a mistake. Will you double check your list? Good gravy. Can I talk to Dr. McBride and verify this? And we do verify it. And it is for real. And why are you here? You are here because what we like to say on our committee, a phrase that another very excellent teacher at our school who's on our committee, Stacy Welton, said right at this podium as the faculty, we like to say, we see you. We see you. When you go back and get your certificate, and you look underneath it and you see what a staff member wrote about you, I am begging you not to do what so many of us do. So many of us, when a compliment comes our way, when someone sees something in us that we might not even see in ourselves, do you know what we do? We say, oh, well, they're just being nice to me. Oh, they don't really know me. Oh, this was just... Please don't do that. Please don't shove that statement away. So many of us as human beings, it's hard to take a compliment. But what I hope you do with that testimonial from an individual is I hope you first thank that person, and I hope you accept that person's testimony about you. Because there are many things about you as students and as human beings. But what is written on that paper is as true as anything about you. You have a responsibility to acknowledge that greatness. You have a responsibility to see that light in yourself. You have a calling to embrace the dignity that you treat other people with, to see the respect, to see the spirit that you give to others. When you pick that piece of paper up, take it into your heart. Don't dismiss it as something just somebody nice is saying to you. Don't set it aside as just another award that you won. We do that so quickly in our busy lives. Take it in your heart. And the third thing you should do, in addition to thanking that individual, in addition to taking it in your heart, you should seek out the people who grew that in you. I think some of them are in this room. It's not a mistake the way that we seat you. This is the way we seat you at Neuqua Valley when we do awards. We don't put you to the side. We don't put you on the stage. We put your family and the community all around you, because it's a symbol that you owe a debt of thanks to these very fine people who raised you up, and somewhere, somehow, as tough as it is to be a parent, because I know I'm a high school parent myself, they instilled in you values that are unique and are going to be written down on that piece of paper. So I would just ask if we could take a moment right now for all of you to put your hands together for your families, your parents, the people who came here to support you. So that's why you're here. That is why you're here. So, I gave you 3 assignments. You're like, great, stress me out, give me another assignment, Dr. McBride. You're going to thank the person who brought you here, who nominated you. You're going to take it in your heart, and you're going to thank your parents and your brothers and sisters and grandparents and other people, aunts and uncles who raised you up and lifted you up. Now the story from my weekend. And I do not mean to bring a difficult subject into this room. I do not, because I was traumatized. I was speechless. But I had hope, because I thought of you. My family always goes south. We've got some southern roots for spring break. But we always find a museum to go to on our way down or our way back. And my oldest daughter picked a museum in Montgomery, Alabama, which is a relatively new museum. And when we went to this memorial in this museum, it's when I just felt a spirit about you. And I threw my remarks out, and I brought these remarks in. We went to the National Memorial for Peace and Justice. And that's an interesting name. That's not what most people call this memorial. We walked underneath hundreds of these blocks. We were devastated. We were speechless. We were lost. As a family coming back from the beach, we had a hard time making sense of what we were walking under. And like I said, I'm trying to tell you about an experience that I had as a human being, walking under these objects. Very few people call this memorial the National Memorial for Peace and Justice. Many people call this the National Memorial to lynching. It is a memorial to those known and unknown in our nation who lost their lives through racial terror lynching. And every single one of those blocks represents a county in the United States where one of those events took place. That's a powerful thing to walk underneath those blocks hanging over your head, to look out and to see that every block, as far as the eye can see, can represent a dark, dark, dark period in our country's history. Maybe the darkest that I can think of. And to see those names, and to meditate on those names, and to think about those names. And when we walked out of the memorial, I was struck by something that I couldn't even take a picture of. Aside the memorial, every single one of those blocks, there's a duplicate of them. Every single one of them hanging. There's a duplicate laid out on a giant lawn, almost as far as the eye can see. And the reason why there's a duplicate is because the National Memorial for Peace and Justice has asked every county that has a block to come and get their duplicate block and bring it to their county and erect it. and acknowledge the loss, acknowledge the pain, acknowledge this moment in history. But what I stood there and why I was devastated is I could not believe how many of these blocks were left out in this yard. They haven't been claimed. They haven't been picked up. And I said to myself, what does this mean? What does this mean? That these counties cannot come and get this block, cannot put this in their county. What does it mean? And I was at a low point. I'll be honest with you. I was at a low point. But then I thought of you. I thought of you. I thought of every single Neuqua Honors person here tonight. And my heart rose. Because if ever there was a group of people that will help us with this, you are the people that would go get the block. You are the people that will help us talk about the tough things that we have to face. You are the people that treat others with dignity and with respect and with honor, regardless of who they are, what they believe, what the color of their skin is, what school they go to. You are the ones that are going to lead my 2 high school daughters. You are the ones that are going to lead me in my old age to a brighter and a better place. You're going to lay your wisdom on us. And that just made me so full to think of you and to think of the promise and to think what you've already demonstrated right here at our school with universal human values. And just as I was feeling a little bit down and feeling so much more up, I saw this quote. And this is you. This is you. We will remember with hope because hopelessness is the enemy of justice, with courage because peace requires bravery, with persistence because justice is a constant struggle, with faith because we shall overcome. Why are you here tonight, and what can you do for your community, your family, for our community here in school, for your country? You are justice. You are bravery. You are willing to struggle, and you can help anything that we face overcome. So I am so proud of every single one of you here tonight that you light a path for us into the future. And as award winners, you are the ones that can lift us up and take us further than we ever thought that we could go. So I want to thank you for lifting my spirit up and making me rise in a way that I really needed it. So thank you. Appreciate it. We are now going to move on to the Equity Award. Could you please welcome Ms. Dipti Vida, who will be reading these awards. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. McBride. That was really, really nice. I just forgot that I have to come up here, so, yeah. Okay, I'll be reading the Equity Award and the Leadership Award. So, the students who are nominated for the Neuqua Valley Equity Award, please line up there. The Neuqua Valley Equity Award honors a student who has demonstrated actions to advance equity and inclusion. This student is committed to the school-wide diversity and has furthered efforts to promote respect in our entire community. Sophia Kemp. Austin Keller. Marina Jacobson. Ashley Ishman. Zachary Thompson. Chloe Long. Ritam Mishra. Imani Porter. Josiah Scott. Jesse Knight. Isabel Nihal. Stephen Matusik. Jack Bella. Ava Topolewski. Alison Sriboki. Gracie Torres. Amina Ilinezi. China Watson. Arena Keener. Erin Milhouse. Sorry? Alexia Bazinelos. Trinity Ginn. Jacqueline Groves. Arohi Mehta. Sarah Burwick. Zach Zhao. Dmitro Popovich. Zain Beg. Rushil Velala. Brendan McCluskey. Arya Nalluri. Jessica Suratkal. Shalaka Bontu. Brady Beck. Ria Jindal. The students nominated for the Neuqua Valley Leadership Award may please queue up there. The Neuqua Valley Leadership Award is given in recognition of an individual who motivates and inspires those around them to contribute towards achievement of a goal. This leader displays dedication and commitment to Neuqua Valley, sets high standards of integrity by leading through example, and maintains high personal standards. Joshua Hayat. Dominic Lycon. Quinn Kozak. Ethan Thomas. Stephen Casino. Sila Ashby. Kylie Pickering. Darla Andoni. Maxine Parkinson. Christopher Wanaham. Charles Neiman. Charles Hanneman. Robert Summers. Catherine Brokovich. Jessica Gong. Tiffany Lack. Alyssa Mead. Pranav Poduturi. Sean Egan. Benjamin Ardis. Sarah Richter. Gatha Sutaria. Anya Itikal. Aiden Murphy. Olivia Gar. Matthew Havlin. Jessica Pimentel. Elise Toro. Alexis Howell. Madeline Cox. Palak Walia. Ashley Dwyer. Madison McGrath. Jan Lacomi. Jacob Remack. Satya Subramaniam. Suyash Kumar. Natalie Irabino. Marissa Kurchaski. Rena Vondrasek. Tess Giver. Tanner Shrey. Avery Hington. Carly Miller. Amena Zubair. Ritisha Kilaru. Stephanie Haas. Ashka Dayal. Sean Fieldman. Anushi Verma. Caitlin Botel. Ana Sura, Sahej Sharma, Alia Khan, Bria Whitaker, Stephanie Nevling, Anaita Chandok, Rahel Javed, Jessica Stumper, Richard Matia, Elena Nordhus, Megan Novak, Tiffany Wunderlich, Reagan Oliver, Alison Dowalski, Kevin Zeng, Sean McDonald, Nima Darabi,
Hey, how about we give these name readers a big round of applause? Pretty good, pretty good, pretty good, pretty good. Hey, can you welcome to the podium? It is true, on an exchange to Nitra, I traveled with a lot of the students, a number of our Nitra colleagues, but we took, Brady Beck and I took a long run around the Ringstrasse, and I'm just so happy to hear. One of the things we talked about was Purdue University, so I'm very happy that go boiler up. That's where Brady's going to be attending. But our closing comments before I dismiss you, could you please welcome Mr. Brady Beck? Thank you.
Thank you. So, chances are extremely high that nobody here can truthfully say they personally know each and every student who received an award this evening. Just take a moment right now. Take a moment to look at the people sitting around you. Chances are you might have talked to them while getting lined up. You might have talked to them while getting lined up or while listening to another part of the program. But the point is, do you really know who they are? And can you say that you know the people that walked across the stage tonight? I know I can't. I don't even know, sorry, my bad. So, obviously no, none of us can say that we knew every single student that was here tonight. I know myself that I can't. But what I can tell you tonight is that everybody that walked across the stage is powerful. Their work has helped to make this community a better, more vibrant place. I find that to be one of the most beautiful things about the community here at Neuqua. We have such a large group of students, staff, and parents here tonight who are making extraordinary contributions to our school. Tonight, the people who walked this stage were responsible for amazing contributions of classroom spirit, commitment, involvement, and equity. What I find even more remarkable than the contributions themselves is the fact that each and every student contributed in their own individual way. For some, the contributions came in the classroom, others on the playing field, and others through extensive work with an extracurricular club or organization. At the end of the day, each of you contributed to making the school, our community, a better place. While I cannot stand up here and say, you contributed here for that reason and you there for this other one, I can say this. Nobody who walked across the stage this evening was putting in their effort for recognition. Your effort is a reflection of your character, and the people in the community see that. We see that. We see what you're doing. Take a moment to pat yourselves on the back. That's a big deal. Thank you for your, sorry. Yeah. That's better than a pat on the back. Anyway, so your contributions are what make this school shine. You are the spokes of the wheels that drive our school to be the best image of itself. But what's next? We're almost done with the school year, right? So what does this mean tomorrow, in a month, or at the start of the next school year? What does this mean for the freshmen in the room who have 3 more years here? And what does it mean for the seniors? Because the truth is, we're moving on in 8 weeks. No matter where you find yourself in the future, the important thing from today is the fact that you've done something. You have discovered that power. The power to roll up your sleeves and contribute to something larger than yourself. Wherever you are, you always need to remember that. People see the work you're doing. I see it, everyone in this room sees it, and the people that you looked at a few minutes ago, they see it too. Tonight you were recognized for your contributions here at Neuqua, but where are you going to go next? Keep challenging yourself to find the opportunities where you can help make society a better place. Keep using that power, and you will continue to do great things. Keep using that power, and you will continue to make a difference for the better. Thank you.
Well, terrific. Thank you, Brady. In closing, on this very auditorium yesterday, we had a great friend of mine and a great academic, great individual speaker, Dr. Lionel Allen, came and spent some time with our staff, and he said what a lot of people say when they come to Neuqua Valley. He said, "Whoa, this, I saw this school from 2 or 3 blocks away," and he commented on the physical beauty of the school. In all 11 years that I've been here, obviously there are many beautiful things that you as community members have built physically in this school. But I'd really ask all the adults and the parents and certainly the students to acknowledge that it is the souls, it is the people that make a place called Neuqua Valley. And if you've done anything, what you've contributed soul to the place. You're live builders, more than brick builders. And what makes this place beautiful are the students in front of us and your belief in what public education can do. So I am eternally grateful for that. Thank you. Thank you. We are going to dismiss. And here's how we're going to do it. And right here, if we could let the students, when I tell you to, Mr. Perry is going to lead you out. You're going to return to your table, but don't be afraid to come on back and reunite with your families. And come on up and take pictures and do whatever you need to do. So if we could, parents, give the students a few minutes to recess. You're going to go line by line, ladies, so just take a seat. You're going to go out the same way you came in, sort of. So let's follow Mr. Perry, and let's give these guys one big round of applause as they leave one more time. Thank you very much for being at the Neuqua Honors.